When it comes to basketball, the rules are simple. There's only 13 of them to follow. Build the right team and reap in the rewards, and boom, you have the recipe for a championship. The concept seems simple enough, but many fail to draft the right players at the right time. In the case of Orlando Magic, a similar problem seemed to have plagued them for a long time, but not anymore. In this video, we talk about the recent draft picks by the Magic that the team could change its destiny with. So let's get into it. First up, honey, what is even going on here? We find ourselves asking this question often while looking at Magic performance. To call their season scores underwhelming is, well, underwhelming. We don't mean to be too harsh, but the numbers speak for themselves. The team hasn't been much of a threat of the Eastern Conference in some time. I might even say to go all the way back to when Shaquille O'Neal was drafted in the mid-90s. But the last time they were genuinely any good was early on in Dwight Howard's career, when he was young and dunking left, right, and center. In fact, in the 2010-11 season, they went 52-30, which is pretty good, and things have been going downhill ever since. Since then, they have had just 2 winning seasons, and they've only eclipsed 30 wins just 4 times. That's abysmal. Do you see our point? Even though the team made it to the playoffs in both 2019 and 2020, their past performances was a stamp they couldn't remove so easily. And honestly, those seasons were kind of plagued by COVID, so, not a lot going on there, and not a lot of substance for their playoff performance. So why is it suddenly that people are taking them seriously? Well, it may have something to do with a certain someone being drafted to a certain team. So, enough suspense. Who did they pick? If you're an Orlando Magic fan, this may be your time to celebrate. President of Basketball Operations Jeff Weltman and General Manager John Hammond have been working for years to rebuild this team and bring them back to the glory days of the 90s. And we think they may have hit a nail on the head with their first overall draft this year. They drafted none other than Paolo Banchero into their team. And I don't know about you, or even if you know who that is, but this could be the beginning of a new era. And we think so. The draft was a complete surprise. The team had decided to keep their pick a secret and shocked fans when they chose him over Jabari Smith. Jabari Smith was the favorite pick to be first by everyone. The other option was Chet Holmgren, an equally skilled player, but there's a lot of risk with him just in his size to weight ratio. Between these 3, it was hard to go wrong. Any of them would be an asset to the team. In the end, it came down to the personal preference of the front house staff and whoever they thought would get in better with the team. All we can say is we hope they made the right decision, and I think they did. Wait, what about the rest of the team? Banchero is not the only savior of the team. The staff was careful to select a roster of talented players that will complement each other on the team. Just one look at the roster and you can see that the Magic actually mean business this season. There are only 3 players over 25 on the team right now. Moritz Wagner is 25 years old, Gary Harris is 27, and T. Ross is 31. Everyone else under contract is 24 or younger, and this means that most players are at the height of their fitness, just about to enter their primes. Not only that, the players actually love being around each other and love basketball more than anything. The Magic's coach, Jamal Mosley, said in an interview that all the players are just tied together. They're all happy and want to be around each other because of the relationships they've created over the last 5 seasons. A healthy working environment with genuine bonds and mutual goals is imperative in any team sports, especially in the Magic's success. Banchero is about to be teammates with the likes of Cole Anthony, Jalen Suggs, Franz Wagner, Wendell Carter Jr., Mo Bamba, and rookie sensation Caleb Houston. It remains to be seen who the centerpiece of this team is, but our bet, it's going to be Banchero. The reason again is just it's the stats and the skills. We all know is Shakira's hips and a player's stats don't lie. Okay, what's so impressive about Banchero? Banchero played 2 full games in the Summer League at Las Vegas, and during those games, his stats were amazing. He averaged 20 points, 5 boards, and shot 40.7 from the floor and 50% from 3-point range. On top of that, he averaged 2.5 steals and 1 block. One of them is one of the most impressive blocks I've ever seen in a Summer League game ever. Okay, Banchero, we see you. Cole Anthony talked to ESPN and explained how he's been Banchero at the gym, and he has an energy about him. He just does what he does, and he does it better than anyone, and it's amazing. His energy that makes him confident that the Magic can turn their trajectory around. Anthony continued to say that Banchero just has an unlimited talent and love for the game, but most importantly, he's not afraid to work hard and put in the hours. In the end, it's just about your dedication to the craft. Just ask Kobe Bryant, and it seems like Banchero has his priorities sorted. Onwards and upwards, right? Now for the big question, could they really win? For any Orlando fan, this question has seemed like a fantasy since, the Magic decided not to pay Shaquille O'Neal all the money, and he went to the Lakers, and then what happened there? Oh right, they went on a 3-peat to win 3 championships in a row. But the team performed in 2019 and 2020, winning 21 and 22 games respectively. Ugh, that's tough. And this was before Banchero even stepped foot in their stadium, so there's hope, right? Well, we're not the only ones that think so. Eastern Conference scout talked to Fast Break and explained to the potential of the team. Cole Anthony has shown what the team can do with just right adjustments. Franz Wagner performed outstandingly despite it being a rookie, and Wendell Carter Jr. took a chance and undertook huge responsibility for his team. Jalen Suggs was not able to shine last season due to some injuries and some other controversy, but not only that, Markelle Fultz and Jonathan Isaac are healthy and ready to play again too. Banchero is the cherry on top that the team needed. According to him, the team could be a big threat in the coming years. The main concern is that it takes time to build a good team in the NBA. Time is the one thing managers are always short on, but what they need the most of. And there is immense pressure to bring in the victories, and most managers trade in short-term gains for long-term benefits. So they end up investing in the wrong players. But the teams that reach the finals that fight for the Larry O'Brien are those who take the time to build a strong core through drafting and years of patience. I just can't think of any examples. Who could they be? Oh, right. The Golden State Warriors, who've won 4 out of the late 8 last championships, and the Boston Celtics, who are a, perennial conference finals team. The team managers on these teams were invested in building a strong core over the years, and it's finally starting to pay off. In our opinion, the same thing could happen for the Orlando Magic. Over the past few years, they've been patiently collecting the right players, one by one, trade by trade, draft pick by draft pick. They have also done a terrific job of developing their young talent and the athletes on their team into young members of society. Magic have a huge ongoing project of work within the community and charity building, which really brings the team together with its community, which raises the support for the team even more. So I'm expecting big things from the Orlando Magic this season, and you should too. Do you love hearing about all things NBA? Check out these other stories we have. Now, in other news. First, the Magic asked the NBA to retire to pay tribute to Bill Russell. With the legend's passing, tributes have poured in. Everyone wants to immortalize his legacy. Magic Johnson has now called upon the NBA to give him the ultimate tribute. He requested that the league retire his number 6 jersey across the league. This move will put his name alongside of Jackie Robinson, whose number 42 was retired by the MLB, and it's only worn one day a year when they honor Jackie Robinson, and every player on that day wears the number 42. This will be a permanent ode to Bill Russell, and I think that the NBA should follow suit with the MLB and give him his GOAT status and retire that number 6 jersey. Next, ex-NBA player explains why players go broke. It's no secret that a lot of NBA players go broke within 5 years of retiring from the NBA, thanks to the episode on 30 for 30 on ESPN titled Simply Broke. The trend has been true for legends like Lamar Odom, Kenny Anderson, even Jalen Rose had some issues before he got his act together. Josh Childress is an ex-NBA player who now plays for the Australian League, and he explains why this keeps happening. He made $60 million during his time with the NBA, and he explains how he managed to avoid bankruptcy. The major mistake most players make is overestimate how much money they have. They don't think about the taxes or maintenance costs on big houses and cars. On top of that, they hang out with veterans that make a lot more money than they do, and they think that that lifestyle is what they must live. In the end, they're left bankrupt and jobless with a broken body. Good job on avoiding those traps, Childress. Now just look out for the next generation. Finally, a former Lakers player is auctioning his rings for Ukraine. Slava Medvedenko, a former LA Laker, a loose term there, is now auctioning his 2 NBA championships rings to raise money for Ukraine. Slava played in 2002 and 2003 with Kobe and Shaq, and he is donating his entire earnings to his foundation, Fly High Foundation. The money will help rebuild schools and gyms that were bombed by Russia and Ukraine. Good job, Medvedenko. You're doing a lot more for the country than you did on the bench for the Lakers, but we appreciate you anyway. And that's it for today's video. Do you think Orlando can win next season? Let us know in the comments down below. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.